Today, we have some very exciting news to share with you on Xiaomi the company and an exciting extension of new product launches that we are launching in the Indian market. Before I get started talking about the products, let me talk a little bit about Xiaomi the company. Xiaomi is a customer-obsessed company. The best validation for us of success is how much our Mi fans love us and how well they recommend our products to their friends and family, which has resulted in Xiaomi being the #1 smartphone brand in India for 4 consecutive quarters as per the IDC market share report. Starting from the third quarter of 2017 all the way up to the most recent Q2 of 2018, Xiaomi has been the clear market leader with a market share of 29.7% overall. What's more exciting for us is our clear dominance in the online market, where we have a market share of 55.6%, and we have been the clear market leaders here for 7 consecutive quarters. To put this in context, if I were to add up all the sales of the online smartphone sales of all other brands put together, it is still lesser than what Xiaomi sells in the Indian market online. While it's great to be a large player in the market, it also comes with a lot of responsibility. We realize that our customers might need us time and again when they're having an issue with the phone. They either walk into an after-sales service center or they contact our customer support center, and this is something that we take extremely seriously. We have invested significantly behind expanding our after-sales network, and I'm extremely delighted to tell you that today we have over 1,000 service centers in India serving the needs of our customers regardless of the kind of issue that they have. And it's not just the number of service centers that matters, but what matters is how do customers perceive the quality of service that we provide in these after-sales centers. It is not enough just to be the market leader in terms of sales. And the biggest satisfaction that we get is when our customers tell us that we are #1 also in after-sales service and support. And this is not our report. This is a research done by Red Quanta, which is a reputed third-party market research agency, which has done on-ground surveys in service centers of all smartphone brands and has rated us #1. Delving a little bit deeper into this, we are extremely happy and privileged to see extremely high scores. And this is the customer's rating of Xiaomi service, be it infrastructure, be it understanding the issue at the service center, be it resolving the issue, and most importantly, first call resolution, which is when a customer walks to the service center, whether the issue is getting resolved or not in the first visit itself, and our customers have rated us extremely highly there. Moving on to the core agenda for the afternoon. The Redmi series is a series which is much loved by millions of users in India, and they have told us how excited they are about using our Redmi phones. In fact, we have many users who've been using our Redmi phones ever since the first launch happened of Redmi on us and have been loyal with us ever since. As per the IDC market share report in Q2 of 2018, 4 of the top 5 smartphones sold in India are Redmi phones. The Redmi 5A, the Redmi Note 5 Pro, the Redmi Note 5 and the Redmi 5. All of this cumulatively put together account for 26% of the total smartphone sales in India in Q2 of 2018. And when you have such a large fan base, when you have such a large user base, and that user base is growing, it obviously is challenging for us in figuring out how can we satisfy them even better. But we took on the challenge, and today it is our privilege to announce the launch of a whole new range of Redmi 6 series smartphones. Today we are launching 3 new smartphones under the Redmi series for India. Let's quickly get to it. First, we have the Redmi 6A, which is primarily meant for people who are new to smartphones, typically people who use a feature phone and want to upgrade to a smartphone. The Redmi 6A is meant for those. Then we have the Redmi 6, which brings all the goodness of a dual camera and makes it accessible to everybody. And then we realized there are also those power users, people who want a little bit more, who have demanding asks and who want to do a lot more with their smartphone. For them, we bring the Redmi 6 Pro. Now let's get started and talk about each of these products. First, the Redmi 6A. The Redmi 6A is the successor to the immensely popular Redmi 5A, which was very, very affectionately received as the Desh Ka smartphone. The phone launched in December of 2017. It went on sale in December of 2017 and has been very, very well received ever since. In fact, the Redmi 5A has been the first choice smartphone for many users, millions of users who are upgrading from a feature phone. And we've seen many, many heartwarming stories of Redmi 5A users who have written to us, told us how the Redmi 5A has actually changed their life. This is just one example of a Mi fan, Saurabh, who wrote to us saying he gifted a Redmi 5A to his father, and he said the phone actually changed his life and brought a whole new smartphone experience for the entire family. But this is just one such story. There are millions of such stories out there, and these are the kind of stories that give us inspiration to keep doing better all the time to deliver more value to our Mi fans. Well, I've told you that the Redmi 5 is the most popular smartphone in India and the top selling. Many of you may actually be aware that the Redmi 5A is also the top selling Android smartphone in the world. It has been the largest selling Android smartphone in the world for 2 consecutive quarters, quarter 1 and quarter 2 of 2018. And back home in India, in the last quarter 2 of 2018, we sold a whopping 3 million units of the Redmi 5A. And when you have something this popular and you take on the challenge of making it even better, what do you get? You get the Redmi 6A, which we affectionately call Desh Ka Naya smartphone, India's new smartphone. And this is a superlative all-round upgrade over the previous version, the Redmi 5A, across the key things that matter to the customer, be it design, be it performance, and the camera. Let's talk about design first. The Redmi 6A comes with a nice, large 18:9 aspect ratio full screen display with a 5.45-inch HD plus resolution screen. Now, what does this actually mean for the customer? We increased the aspect ratio from 16:9 to 18:9 in the current version, which gives more screen for the same size, and we also increased the overall size of the screen from 5 to 5.45, which actually gives 10% more screen space for the customer in the same phone. The phone on the back side comes with this beautiful brush metallic finish. Our Mi fans have told us that they really love that finish, and it's got this nice, sleek arc design which feels great to hold, and I strongly encourage all of you to go check out the phone. After the presentations are done, we have an experience zone here, and actually check for yourself how beautiful this phone actually feels in the hand. It comes in 4 beautiful colors. You've seen the black, we have the gold, we have the rose gold, and we have this beautiful looking blue. But that's on the design. We realize that for people who upgrade to their first smartphone, design is good, but performance matters a lot more. And let's see how the Redmi 6A performance stacks up. In the Redmi 6A, we have packed in a Helio A22 12nm octa-core processor with a clock speed up to 2 GHz. Let's spend a little bit of time trying to understand what each of this actually means and how does it impact the customer. Firstly, the 12nm FinFET technology. Some of you might be aware, conventional electronic design. In transistor design, smaller is always better, right? Because it just consumes a lot less power, which is very, very important in a smartphone. With the 12nm FinFET technology in the Helio A22 processor, we get to deliver better power efficiency, better thermal performance, and better SoC performance. What this means is when there is significantly better power efficiency with the 12nm FinFET technology in the Helio A22 processor in the 6A, For the 3000 mAh battery, you get significantly better battery life. For example, on the key things that matter to the customer, 41% better talk time, which is for many users the primary use of a smartphone. 34% better video playback time. You know, a lot of people are watching videos on YouTube and other OTT applications. 34% better performance. On all the key things that matter to the customer, the Redmi 6A delivers much better battery use, much longer battery life, thanks to the Helio 822 processor, quad-core with the 12 nanometer FinFET technology. The Redmi 6A is the only smartphone in its segment with this 12 nanometer FinFET technology, and that's not all. It is also the only smartphone in this segment with a clock speed of up to 2 gigahertz. And what does this mean for the customer? This means significantly better performance, much faster performance. When you launch an app, boom, it loads extremely quickly. When you're watching a video, etc., etc. These are the kind of things that the Redmi 6A performs significantly better than the previous variant, which is Redmi 5A. But, very important to note, in delivering this better performance, we did not compromise on the battery. In fact, courtesy the new technology that's been adopted in this phone, the overall power consumption in the Redmi 6A is almost half the previous variant, 48% lower than the Redmi 5A. Effectively, what this means is you have a processor that is better pretty much on all counts. When you look at AnTuTu score, which is a way of benchmarking the processor performance, the Redmi 6A performs 15% better overall holistic score as compared to the Redmi 5A, with a clock speed of up to 2 gigahertz, 12 nanometer FinFET, and most importantly for our customers, great performance with fantastic power efficiency, a much better power consumption index in the Redmi 6A. Moving on to some of the other interesting features in the Redmi 6A, we have the AI facial unlock, which can be used to secure and unlock your phone. But the coolest part about Redmi 6A is the raise to wake and AI facial unlock feature. So effectively what you need to do is, you just pick up your phone and you look at it, boom, facial unlock, you see your home screen. That's how convenient unlocking your phone is. No more PIN, passwords, pattern, etc., etc. Raise to wake, facial unlock, boom, you're on your home screen. We've got a lot of feedback from our users that we need dual SIM slot. At the same time, we also need to have the capability to expand the storage by adding a micro SD card. In the Redmi 6A, we have a dual nano SIM slot and also a dedicated slot for the micro SD card, with which you can expand the phone memory to up to 256 gigabytes. Feedback that we got from our Mi fans, and here we've given it to them. The Redmi 6A also features dual VoLTE with dual standby. And what does that mean? You might tell me that sure, there are other phones out there which have dual SIM with dual VoLTE, but the interesting piece about the Redmi 6A is that both of those 4G SIMs on VoLTE can be on standby, and what that means is you could receive calls on both. You could receive VoLTE calls on both at the same time. That's not possible in any other phone in this segment. More importantly, if I'm doing a phone call on one of the SIM, I can actually use the other SIM to browse high-speed 4G data, which again is not very easily doable in most phones out there. Again, for the first time in this segment, dual VoLTE with dual standby. We've heard our customers and we've given it to them. The Redmi 6A comes with MIUI 9.6 based on Android Oreo 8.1 out of the box, with an upgrade to MIUI 10 coming really soon. Moving on to the other aspect of the phone, which a lot of people care about. My first smartphone, I really wanted a good camera, and the Redmi 6A is no slouch there. The Redmi 6A has a 13 megapixel rear camera with face detection autofocus, which enables really quick autofocus so that you don't miss the moment, right? When you want to take something important that's happening, you want your phone to focus quickly and get that image and snap it. The Redmi 6A lets you do that with face detection autofocus. And let's look at a sample image of what the Redmi 6A can actually deliver. This is a picture shot. Look at the vivid reds in the background, how the blues and whites are nicely contrasted, and look at that detail on the t-shirt. These kind of pictures are possible on the Redmi 6A. The Redmi 6A's camera also has electronic image stabilization for all the videographers out there. A lot of you might realize when you're taking a video, there are a lot of shakes and movements and so on and so forth, which just kill the beauty of the video, right? I mean, the end output, it looks really, really sad. With electronic image stabilization, we ensure that you have a stable video regardless of how much your hands are shaking. And I must call out here that electronic image stabilization is a feature that's typically available only in smartphones that are valued at 15,000 rupees or higher. We brought it to the Redmi 6A, Desh Ka Naya smartphone. Right up at the front, we've got an AI selfie camera with AI portrait and beautify modes, which basically ensure that you get great depth and great selfie portraits. Wonderful example here. You can see that this is a selfie that's taken, by the way, with the 6A. Nice blurred background. You can see great detailing in the hair here. These are the kind of selfies that are possible using the AI portrait mode in the Redmi 6A. And it also has AI Beautify 4.0. What AI Beautify 4.0 does is we use intelligence in the software to understand various skin types, to understand various facial features, and literally works as a virtual makeup that works all day, right on your phone. That's what AI Beautify 4.0 does on the Redmi 6A. A great example with AI Beautify, look at the flawless texture of the skin and the wonderful pop of that orange in the t-shirt that the lady is wearing. These are the kind of selfies that are possible with AI Portrait and AI Beautify mode on the Redmi 6A. To quickly sum up, we bring to you today the Redmi 6A Desh Ka Naya smartphone, 18:9, 5.45-inch full screen display, the 12nm quad-core processor with a clock speed of up to 2 GHz. Both of them first in its segment, the 13 megapixel rear camera, selfie camera with portrait and beautify modes, AI face unlock with raise to wake, and dual multi with dual standby. That effectively means that you have a super all-round upgrade on the Redmi 6A over the previous variant, which is the superbly successful Redmi 5A across all the parameters that matter to the customer, be it design, be it performance, or the camera. That is the Redmi 6A. Moving on to the second important announcement for the afternoon, which is Redmi 6. Dual camera with octa-core speed. Let's talk a little bit about the design first before we get to all the octa-core and dual camera beauty of this phone. The design is 18:9 full screen display, again 5.45-inch HD plus resolution, effectively giving 10% higher screen real estate than the previous version, available in 4 colors, black, gold, rose gold, and definitely my favorite, the blue. Let's talk about the camera first. We have seen that all the other popular smartphones in this segment, be it the Samsung J4, the Honor 7C, and so on the rear effectively have a single lens camera, at best a 13 megapixel single lens camera with a primary lens pixel size of 1.12 microns. And let me come a little bit on the importance of why we think this 1.12 microns is not great. On the Redmi 6, we have 12 plus 5 megapixel, a dual lens rear camera with a massive 1.25 micron pixel size. And what does this 1.25 micron actually mean for the end user, for our Mi fans? Let me cover that. A lot of you might know that in photography, light is everything. You have more light, you get to take better pictures. If it's too dark, you don't get to take better pictures. What we have done is, with this increase in pixel size, the effective light intake increases by 20%. And when you have better light, you have sharper pictures, you have better color reproduction, you have greater dynamic range, and of course you have fantastic contrast, which is what is possible using this massive 1.25 micron pixel size on the Redmi 6. A representative sample of a picture taken with the Redmi 6. Look at this brilliant dynamic range on this picture. You see the sunlit portion out there, lot of light there, and then there's a darker interior, but look at the wonderful detailing on this wooden table. That is possible courtesy the 1.25 micron massive pixel size on the Redmi 6. The Redmi 6 also has an AI portrait mode using artificial intelligence powered by semantic segmentation. Semantic segmentation is a deep learning algorithm that we have built internally at Xiaomi, and what this does is it uses software to detect the edges of the, let's say, the model in the front, ensure that the front is clearly, crisply laid out, whereas the background is nicely blurred. With the AI portrait mode, you get wonderful portraits that you see here. Look at that beautiful blurring in the background. This is typically possible on expensive smartphones, on DSLRs. With AI portrait mode in the Redmi 6, it's possible using this smartphone. The Redmi 6 also has electronic image stabilization for all the videographers out there, and up front, this nice AI selfie camera with portrait and beautify modes, which I've referred to on the Redmi 6A. Moving on to performance, of course, for phone users in this segment, dual camera is good, but I'm sure they also care about performance. And we wanted to ensure that the Redmi 6 performs really well under heavy usage without sacrificing battery life, for which we have packed in the Helio A22 12nm octa-core processor with a clock speed of up to 2 GHz. Let's try and understand a little bit more about this. The Redmi 6 is the only smartphone in this segment with this 12nm octa-core processor, which delivers 30% better performance than our previous versions, of course, without compromising battery life. Power consumption is close to less than half than the previous variant. The Helio P22 processor possesses 12nm FinFET technology. Smaller is better thermal efficiency, better lower power consumption, and better overall performance. The octa-core processor, 8 cores instead of 4, 2 GHz clock speed, and intelligent task allocation. And let me spend a minute in trying to explain why intelligent task allocation is such a big feature of this processor. When you have 8 cores, what happens in the Helio P22 is that there are 4 cores with a clock speed of up to 1.5 GHz, and the other 4 have a clock speed of up to 2 GHz. For most normal functions that we use, be it email, be it calling, be it chatting, be it looking at a picture, it's the regular 1.5 GHz cores that are used. But when it comes to high intensity use cases, let's say I'm playing a game, let's say I'm editing a video, let's say I'm looking at some heavy graphic work, etc., that's when the 2 GHz cores come in. So effectively what this means is there is intelligent task allocation across these cores, which results in significantly better battery performance, because most of the time it's the 1.5 GHz cores that are used, which consumes lesser battery, which is important for the customer. What that means is with the 3000 mAh battery, you get under typical usage conditions full day battery life to power the user for all their smartphone needs through the day, a call time of up to 29 hours, and a whopping standby of 9 days. That's what the P22 octa-core processor with intelligent task allocation and the 3000 mAh battery on the Redmi 6 delivers to our Mi fans and users. The Redmi 6, besides the AI face unlock, also has a fingerprint sensor. We understand users in this segment would need more choice. There are those who prefer face unlock, there are those who need better choices. So for them, we have fingerprint sensor. And besides this, we also have the added set of features, which means you can unlock your Redmi 6 phone using the Mi Fit Smart Band, as well as also leave your phone unlocked using our smart unlock feature in a trusted Wi-Fi network or Bluetooth zone. The Redmi 6 comes with a 2+1 card slot, dual nano SIM, and a dedicated micro SD slot. Also comes with dual VoLTE with dual standby as in the Redmi 6A, and ships with MIUI 9.6 based on Android 8.1 out of the box, with MIUI 10 coming really soon. In summary, That's Redmi 6 for you. Dual camera, octa-core speed, 12 plus 5 megapixel rear with that massive 1.25 micron pixel size, the 12 nanometer FinFET octa-core processor, clock speed of up to 2 gigahertz, 18:9 full screen display, the selfie camera, face unlock with fingerprint sensor, and dual VoLTE.
Redmi 6 Pro comes with a dual camera and with an incredible 2-day battery life, and these are things that matter to the power users. So let's see what this device is about. Starting with design, I think the first major upgrade on Redmi 6 Pro, or the first major talking point about Redmi 6 Pro, is that it comes with a 5.84 Full HD display. It also comes with a 19:9 aspect ratio, which means that you get a lot more screen, and most importantly, it comes with a notch design. So that's a notch design for you with a very sharp, bright 5.84-inch Full HD panel. If you don't like the notch, as some of you might, you will get the option of hiding the screen notch with just a click, and then you can use the phone without the notch altogether. So that was about the display. The Redmi 6 Pro comes with a premium metal body, and if you look at the edges, they are beautifully rounded. So it all comes together very well. When we actually started looking at creating this device, we wanted to create a device that was durable, and that's where metal comes in and helps us make it a really durable device. But we also wanted to make it really classy, so that when you take this device out anywhere, people should say wow, right? And that's where the rounded edges really come around and give it a very good classy look. So that was about the design. It comes in 4 different colors: the standard black and the gold. It also comes in blue, that's been appreciated by a lot of customers. But we also heard from a lot of our fans, B fans, that we want our phones in red. So for the first time ever, Redmi 6 Pro comes in red color. It's a beautiful bright red that I'm sure all of you will like. So the Redmi 6 Pro, moving on to the camera department, again comes with an AI-based dual rear camera. Let's get into the details of what this dual rear camera is. The dual camera setup out here is a 12+5 setup. The 12 megapixel camera is the primary camera. That's a Sony IMX486 sensor with again large 1.25 micron pixels. And that's something that Murli spoke at length on how this 1.25 micron pixels helps in taking more light and giving great photos. We'll again see some photos that give you how good the camera is, right? We also have a second sensor, that's a 5 megapixel sensor. This is a depth sensing sensor to take great portrait shots, and that's a Samsung sensor that we have in this place. So before I get into what this is about, a lot of smartphone makers typically go about packing in hardware. They might put in a 13 megapixel camera and say that it will produce great photos, but great photos don't come just because you put in high megapixel cameras in there. Great photos come in when you put in great hardware and marry that with great software that is AI powered. So with Redmi 6 Pro, what we've done is we've got a great hardware setup with a large 1.25 micron pixel size sensors, and we are marrying it with our deep learning algorithm that's called semantic segmentation to actually give great photos. So let's take a look at one of these photos out here. This photo has been taken in challenging light conditions. You've got a section of the photo that's bright, and you've got a section of the photo that's relatively dark. But when you look at the camera, when you look at the snap that's been taken, the dynamic range is great. I mean, the bright parts are really well detailed, and so is the case with even the darker parts of it. And if you look at, again, the hair of the model out here, it is quite, the edge detection is perfect, and that edge detection comes from what we call as semantic segmentation. Most of you might say that some of these photos have been taken by professionals who know how to play around with the settings, but our objective is to create a camera app that doesn't really require too much work by the customers who are using it. You can use it as you want, and it should still come out with great photos. That's why we're trying to show you some photos that have been taken by fans, and that shows you how easy it is to take great photos with the Redmi 6 Pro. Let's take a look at this photo, taken in almost darkness. This is the photo of a bulb. Again, the Redmi 6 Pro with the semantic segmentation is pretty good at taking photos in low light because of the large 1.25 micron pixels. But also look at how how well the details of the filament have been captured. So this photo has been captured in low light, but all the details of the filament are quite visible. Let's take a look at this one. This was taken by the Mi fan in Jaipur. Again, a whole bunch of colors out here. Look at how deep and red the turban is, and also the greens on the windows. But the most important piece to me is, if you actually zoom in, you'll realize that even the door that has so much details have been captured quite accurately out here. And that to me is the hallmark of a great camera. Like in Redmi 6 and Redmi 6N, we're again introducing electronic image stabilization with Redmi 6 Pro. This is a feature that does not come in phones below 15,000 rupees. And with our Redmi 6 series of phones cutting across 6A, 6 and 6 Pro, we are making it available. Why? Because we believe our Mi fans, our customers are now not just taking a lot of photos, but they're also taking a lot of videos. And when you're taking videos, typically you get a lot of unwanted movements that mars the whole experience of the video. With electronic image stabilization, you can actually take almost pro level of videos even when you're shooting them at home. So that's Redmi 6 Pro. It comes with the best AI-based dual camera experience in its class. We don't think there would be any other device that comes anywhere close to that. It also comes with an AI portrait selfie. What it means is, even though the front camera does not have a secondary lens for depth sensing, you will still be able to take great portrait shots. How is it possible? Again, it's based on the semantic segmentation. That's the AI algorithm that we built over the years, and we've perfected it as we move forward. That's a short. I mean, who says guys cannot take selfie shots? They do, and it's come out quite well out here. Again, with just a single camera, you can still see how well the background has been blurred out, and how well the edges around the hair and around the ears has been captured out here in this photo. So that's the AI portrait selfie of Redmi 6 Pro. We believe it gives a great front as well as the back camera experience on the Redmi 6 Pro. Let's move to performance. We believe this is the performance is something that most of our power users really crave about. And how do we give the performance? We've got a Qualcomm Snapdragon 625. We believe this is one of the most reliable and balanced processors out there. In fact, this processor has been in use for the whole of last year, and there are more than 10 million customers using phones powered by Snapdragon 625. And most of these customers are exceptionally happy with the performance. So we're bringing the Redmi 6 Pro with Qualcomm Snapdragon 625. It offers great battery efficiency, and it also offers the best performance in its segment. With the Redmi 6 Pro, we're also packing in a 4000 mAh battery. In fact, I would urge you to check out this device at the experience zone. You'll realize that the device is very, very thin, but it still packs in a 4000 mAh battery. Why do we pack in a 4000 mAh battery? Because we believe our power users are using the phone more and more, and in order to power them through the day, and in some cases even up to 2 days, we are putting in a 4000 mAh battery. This 4000 mAh battery, combined with Snapdragon 625's great battery efficiency, gives you almost unheard of levels of usage. So if you look at 4G talk times, you get a close to 30 hours of 4G talk time on this device, which I think is definitely one of the highest that you'll find on any device out there. You also get up to 16.5 hours of playback time on this particular device. So that's, to summarize, that's the Redmi 6 Pro from a performance standpoint. Comes with Snapdragon 625, one of the best balanced processors out there, coupled with the 4000 mAh battery to give you a performance that is unrivaled in this particular segment. The Redmi 6 Pro again ships with MIUI 9.6 based on Android Oreo 8.1, but will be upgraded to MIUI 10 very, very soon. In fact, that's something that I want to quickly dwell upon over here. As a company, Xiaomi has its own operating layer, which is the MIUI, and we end up updating the MIUI layer almost on a weekly basis. Some of you guys who are using our devices, you realize that pretty much every week or every second week, you will find updates on your phone. Right? That's to ensure that the devices keep running very well for the longest period of time. There are devices, some of you might say that it's only MIUI updates and not the Android updates, but we believe the MIUI updates are more important to keep your device running healthily for a long time. In fact, we're one of the only device manufacturers that are offering updates on devices that go back 4 years in time. Most device manufacturers typically stop the updates after a year and a half or 2 years, but we continue to support our devices up to 4 years. So the Redmi 6 Pro comes with a 2+ mark dedicated memory slot. This is something that we've heard multiple times, and as Murli pointed out, we put that in both Redmi 6 and Redmi 6A, but it's a first that we're putting this in a device like this, because typically in some of your other devices that we've launched with 4000 mAh battery, we would never have a dedicated memory slot. But we've heard this feedback quite strongly from everyone else, and we managed to pack in not just a 4000 mAh battery into the chassis, but we've also packed in a dedicated memory slot. So what it means is you'll be able to use both your SIMs and the dedicated memory slot to save, to store all your movies and music. So that was the Redmi 6 Pro. To summarize, it comes with a great dual camera and incredible 2-day battery life. It also comes with a 5.84-inch Full HD Plus display, which is great for viewing all kinds of content. So moving on, all the 3 devices that we launched, which is Redmi 6, Redmi 6A and Redmi 6 Pro, will be manufactured in India, like most of the other Redmi devices that we've been launching here in the country. Let me just take a couple of minutes to talk about our Make in India program, right? We've been committed to this program since the time it was conceptualized in 2014. In fact, we started our manufacturing journey here in India in 2015. It's been 3 years since we've been manufacturing here in India, and we've scaled up over the course of these 3 years. From starting with one factory in 2015, today we have 6 factories that are manufacturing our phones. We have a manufacturing capacity that is almost 2 phones per second. These 6 factories are spread across 3 states in the country. There's one factory set up here in Tamil Nadu, there's one in AP, and then there's one in UP as well. And not just that, we're not just setting up factories that assemble our phones. We're also trying to work in the spirit of Make in India and trying to do more and more local value addition. In fact, this year we announced that we started making PCBAs, which accounts for almost 50% of the value of the phone here in India. We're one of the first companies to start manufacturing PCBAs in the country, and at this point in time I'm proud to announce that more than 50% of the phones that we are shipping also come with locally manufactured PCBAs. And we want to be in a place where by the end of the year 100% of the phones that we are shipping out in the country come with locally manufactured PCBAs. So that's about Make in India. While we are making in India, we're also figuring out ways to customize our devices for India. And when I say customize, I'm not just talking about software tweaks that you do to customize for India. That's something that's relatively easy to accomplish, and that's something that we've been doing with devices since 2015. But with Redmi 6, Redmi 6A, Redmi 6 and Redmi 6 Pro, we're also adding one more customization, which is we're putting in dual pyrolytic graphite sheets. Those are the sheets that you see out there. What helps us do is actually dissipate heat much faster. And why do you think it is needed for a country like India? Because India is much warmer compared to most of the other countries out there, which means that your ambient temperature operates at a much different level. It means your phones can heat up a lot faster. In order to deal with that problem, we are putting in dual graphite sheets. Helps in better heat dissipation, and from an impact standpoint, it decreases the surface temperature by about 2 degrees Celsius. Some of you might think 2 degrees is not much, but when the ambient temperature itself goes to 40-45 degrees Celsius, those 2 degrees Celsius can actually hurt you from actually speaking on the phone. It also has a massive impact on your battery efficiency. By being able to reduce the device temperature by 2 degrees Celsius, we are able to increase the battery life as well as the device life of our phones here in India. So that was about customization. I want to quickly take a minute and talk about our focus on quality. We believe we've been successful here in India, not just because of products, but because of the focus that we give to quality as a parameter. We believe that people choose us, people trust us as a brand because the phones that they're using last them long and last them very, very well. All of that comes because we spend a lot of time figuring out how well do we make our devices. Most of the Redmi phones that we are selling here in the country go through the same level of tests that our flagship V series goes through. So we are making sure that every device that comes into the country is held to the same level of standard that a 30,000 rupee or a 40,000 rupee device is held. Uh, each Redmi device typically goes through about 4,000 tests, both hardware and software, during the R&D stage itself. And what you see over here is just a small sample of that 4,000 tests that we end up doing on each and every devices. Again, to reiterate, this is something that we take exceptionally seriously because we believe that the users trust us because we make great quality devices, and the quality comes with a focus on trying to get it tested as many times as possible. Of course, we don't want you to try this deliberately, but I'm sure in the course of your use, some of these things might happen. It's built to withstand all of that. Now, moving on to the most important thing, we're launching these devices here in Chennai today. Before I get into the price, I think I would want to talk about one important aspect that determines how we price our devices, and that's the rupee to dollar exchange rate. As some of you might know, rupee has depreciated considerably since the start of the year. It's depreciated by more than 10%, and now it's operating at the at a level of rupee 71 to about $1 of rupee 71 to $1, right? This puts a lot of pressure on not just us as a brand, but on all the other brands and the industry. And what it implies from an end customer view is that it will be difficult for most companies to operate at price points that were launched in the past for devices, purely because the dollar is operating at such a high number compared to others. Having said that, Xiaomi as a company is committed to offering high quality products at the most honest pricing. Let's take a look at the pricing now. So to summarize, the first device that we launched today was Redmi 6A. It's a Desh Ka Naya smartphone. Comes with a 5.45-inch HD plus display with an 18:9 aspect ratio. Comes with a class-leading Helio 822 processor and with a 30 megapixel rear camera and a high-capacity 3000 mAh battery. Let me compare it quickly with some of the other devices in this segment, compared to a Samsung J2 or a Honor 7S or a Vivo Y53. If you actually notice, across different elements, Redmi 6A clearly stands out. The processor is definitely in a different class altogether. Most of the other processors out there use a 28 nanometer process, whereas this is based on a 12 nanometer process, which means that you get considerably better performance and battery life from this processor. It also comes with a 13 megapixel rear camera, which is something that is not really found in all the devices out there, and it also comes with an AI portrait mode, which is again missing in most of the devices out here. And also, it also comes with a dual multi-dual standby, which is something that we realize a lot of customers want. What's the price of Redmi 6A compared to everything else that's out here at 7,500 or 7,000? So the Redmi 6A is being launched at an incredibly low price of 5,999 for the 2GB variant and 16GB of storage. But this price is an introductory price for the next couple of months. If the dollar continues to stay at the same level or increases with respect to the rupee, we might have to reevaluate our pricing decision. We also have one more variant in the Redmi 6A, which is the 2GB variant and 32GB of storage, and this will retail at a price of 6,999. Again, this is an introductory price just for the next couple of months until Diwali ends. So the Redmi 6A goes on sale on 19th September, which is roughly 2 weeks from now, at 12 noon on me.com and amazon.in. We will also be making it available across Mi Homes and all the other offline partners very soon. That was Redmi 6A. Moving to Redmi 6. This is the second device that we launched today. To recap, it comes with a class-leading dual camera of 12 plus 5 megapixel with large 1.25 micron pixels. It comes with a Helio P22 octa-core processor with up to 2 GHz of clock speed, and it comes with a fingerprint sensor with an AI face unlock. Let's see how this stacks up against the competition. So if you were to compare it to the Samsung J4, which says it starts at 11,000 rupees. If you compare it to Vivo Y71, that again starts at 11,000, or with Moto G6 Play and Honor 7C, you will see that the RAM and the storage is somewhat similar to what's being offered, but the Redmi 6 comes with a storage option going up to 64 GB. It also comes with the Helio P22, that again is a significant upgrade from a processing capability with up to 2 GHz of clock speed on that one. And the most important piece, it comes with an industry-leading camera in this particular segment, which is 12 plus 5 megapixels with a large 1.25 micron pixel size of the primary sensor. What is its price? Again, an incredible price of just 7,999. That's what the Redmi 6 3GB with 32GB variant will retail at. We also have one more variant, which is the 3GB variant with 64GB of storage, and that sells for sell for 9,499. Again, both of these prices are introductory prices, only valid from now until November 7th, which is when the Diwali ends. The Redmi 6 goes on sale on 10th of September at 12 noon. It will be made available across Mi.com and Flipkart.com, and it will be made available across Mi Homes and offline partners very soon. The Redmi 6 also comes with a great offer, which means on the first sale, if you have an HDFC Bank debit card or a credit card, you can get 500 rupees off, which means you can buy the product for an effective price of 7,499 in the first sale. So that was Redmi 6. Moving on to Redmi 6 Pro, the power for the Redmi power user. It comes with a great dual camera and an incredible 2-way battery life. Let's see how well this product stacks up against the competition. We're comparing this with Samsung J6, Moto G6 and Oppo A5. Most of these devices start from 13,000 going up to 15,000, 16,000 rupees. And if you see from a RAM and storage standpoint, somewhat similar, offering 3 plus 32 variant or a 4 plus 64 variant. But where it stands out again is from a processing. This Redmi 6 Pro ships with the Snapdragon 625. Clearly superior to everything else that most of the competition devices are operating on, be it a Snapdragon 450 or a Exynos 7870. It also comes with a great 5.84-inch Full HD Plus display. As you can see, some of the other devices out there just ship with a HD Plus display, whereas this is a Full HD Plus display. It also comes with a notch design, which is a novelty at this point in time, and customers will definitely get it on this particular device. And the last and the most important feature, it comes with a camera setup that's significantly better than most of the other camera setups. It comes with a 12 megapixel primary sensor, which is a Sony IMX486 with large 1.5 micron pixels. And lastly, it comes with a battery that's 4000 mAh, significantly bigger than some of the other devices out there in the market. So what's Redmi 6 Pro going to be priced at? For the 3 plus 32GB variant, it will have a price of 10,999, and for the 464 variant, it will have a price of 12,999. So that's Redmi 6 Pro, going on sale next week on 11th of September on Mi.com and Amazon.in. It will also be made available across Mi Homes and offline partners very soon after that. The Redmi 6 Pro also comes with an HDFC Bank offer, which means you can get 500 rupees off on the first sale on 11th of September. So that's Redmi 6 Pro. To summarize, 3 phones that we launched today: Redmi 6A, Desh Ka Naya smartphone with a starting price of 5,999, available on 10th of September. Available on 19th of September. Redmi 6, which is the dual camera with octa-core speed with a starting price of 7,999, available on 11th of September. And Redmi 6 Pro with a dual camera and incredible 2-day battery life with a starting price of 10,999, available from 10th of September next week.